Hi guys, this is Rob with Deluxe Gaming, and today I would like to showcase Heroes and Generals, a very interesting title that recently appeared in Steam approximately a month and a half ago. I've been trying to come up with a categorization for this game for you guys, and the best I can come up with is that it's a massive multiplayer online first-person shooter role-playing strategy game that feels a little bit like Battlefield 1942. I kid you not. All of these things are included in here. You can fly a plane. You can be an infantryman. You can be a tank guy. You can be a sniper. You can be a paratrooper. And of course, you can even be the general and manage the battle of World War II from your side, either the Axis or the Allies, from a grand campaign map. I kid you not, all of these things existed. When I was younger, I imagined a game that I dreamed that there was a game out there that I could jump on and I could either, I could carry the gun or I could be in the tank and my buddy could be in an airplane and then another buddy could be in a sniper in the background and another guy could be jumping out of planes. All of these things happening as my team moves in and then fighting another team of people that are actually taking on all those individual roles. What an exciting notion. And then on top of that, as another whole layer, there's somebody sitting above looking at a map going, okay, I want your team to move in here and attack this location because it's strategically valuable to me. Or to us, in terms of winning the war. So it's all here. It's all here. And I know there's a lot of games, there's a couple games out there, and I'm not going to mention them, that are starting to include the elements of, okay, well, we've got planes, now we're going to add tanks. Now we've got tanks, we're going to add, this. Now we're going to add this. Well, this has already got it. That's the thing that's killing me. This already has it. So I'll tell you where I'm at right now. Now, I have played quite a bit of the German side of this game. You can either play as the Axis or the Allies. So the Germans being the Axis, the Allies being the US, right? So it's just those two sides. Now, this is still in early access, so they may be adding more sides to this. I don't know. That would be really exciting. But right now, it's just the two. And you can play as either one. It depends. Right now there's only one campaign that appears at a time, and with each campaign you either choose at the beginning, am I going to be German, or at the beginning, am I going to be American? Now if you choose German, for example, in that campaign, you can't just go and switch to be American halfway through. You have to stay as a German during that entire course of that campaign. Now, eventually, I assume there's going to be more than one campaign operating at the same time, but I don't know. I really don't know at this point. I haven't done a whole lot of reading from the developers, what their plans are, but I'm assuming they could have more than one campaign, so you could be German in one and American in one, but you just can't be both in the same campaign. That would be kind of unfair. So, like I said, I have played quite a bit of the German side, so I want to show you a little bit of the American side. Why would I want to show you the American side if I play so much of the German side? Well, I want to show you where this game begins and where ultimately it could end. So I do have a character started here. I am going to actually start a new character, and normally you wouldn't have to do this. When you first sign up to the Heroes and Generals site, it automatically gives you a character and you can name your character and you don't have to buy it. But because I already have, I think I have 5 characters, after your first character you actually have to buy your next character with either in-game currency or the store-bought currency, which is the currency you buy with real money. Now the in-game currency, honestly, you make enough of it playing in order to do this kind of stuff. Now, there are just a couple things you can't do with in-game currency, and one of them happens to be buying a soldier or a character that is higher rank than the lowest rank. So, in other words, I can't buy a second lieutenant infantryman. I can't buy a major. I can't buy a fighter pilot. I can't buy a second lieutenant fighter pilot, right up to the general. I can't just buy that with in-game currency. That's the only thing I can't buy right off the bat. That doesn't mean I can't have this. I can have anything on here, but I gotta work to get it. And you know what? That's fine. And here's the other part. Just because I come in and I'm Daddy Warbucks and I come in with a whole bunch of money and I go, oh, I'm going to buy the Academy-trained recon soldier. and I'm going to spend my $28.49 in gold, which is probably like, I don't know, it's like $10 or something, whatever that is. And I'm going to come into the game and I'm going to kick it. Yes, absolutely. This is a nice rifle to have. There is no doubt. And with that scope on there, it's beautiful. And you have an incredible range. But without the experience in this game, honestly, if you don't know the maps, it's not going to do you any good. You're going to get a couple kills, but the kills, for example, as a recon, you're going to get kills, but the kills don't always give you all the experience points and the points in the game. It's taking over victory locations and stuff like that. So yes, you get points for making kills, but you're not really going to do all that well, and you're probably not going to enjoy this. If you haven't earned this, you're not going to enjoy it. So yes, I can buy the sniper rifle and the guy to run it. That's fantastic, but I'm not going to enjoy this as much, and I'm not going to have the experience with the maps, and I'm probably going to get my butt kicked because I don't know the game all that well. Now, if I come in here after I have fought and say, you know what, it's totally different. If I've come in here and I have earned a character or played a character really hard and earned enough experience to become a really high-end fighter pilot, that's great. And then I decide for my next character, I don't want to go through all that. I'm just going to buy my recon. Fine. Whatever. That's fine, right? It's different. I still think to really enjoy this game, yeah, you can come in and just buy it, but I think to really enjoy this game, you're going to want to experience the free end of it anyway. So anyway, normally, sorry, I kind of got off track there, but normally you come into the game and you are given an infantryman. Now, after the first infantryman, you have to buy it with either in-game currency, like I said, or the store-bought currency. So I'm just going to buy a new infantryman. Woohoo! Congratulations. And I apologize there's no music on here. I would love to have the music. Okay, so now I do have another, of course, U.S. infantryman. He's up there. He's already getting up there. I mean, it doesn't take that long once you get some experience doing this. And here's my new guys. So if your first guy you can name, you can rename your first guy. After that, you have to spend money to do it. I'm not going to do it. So Gerald Winter is going to be our new infantry. Okay. So you start out, it looks exactly like this. You have nothing except for the starter rifle. Now, what's interesting here is that they use, of course, the period weapons, the exact weapons that they were using in the war. And the mechanics of the guns in-game is fantastic. Actually, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's perfect. I'll never say something's perfect, but it's quite good. But what's interesting now that I'm playing the American side is I have played the German side, and the starting weapons are so different. They're so different. The American side grease gun, which is sort of their beginning submachine gun, is so much better than the I forget what it's called. It's a 34 caliber, whatever, for the German side. I like the grease gun so much better, but it's personal playstyle, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, they're just so different. Everything's so different. So anyway, so you start out as an infantryman, and then you're going to move up the ranks. As you gain experience, it's going to open up these ribbons for you. So in other words, you can earn your medium, or well, let's start with something that makes sense. Physical training. So every time you move, you earn experience points in physical training. And then as you get experience points in physical training, you can open up these badges, which you can apply to your character, similar kind of to Call of Duty, that you can attach to your character and just give them sort of an inherent trait, right? And then there's also the, hold on, let's go to explosives. This one is very, very, very important. One, I need everybody to know this because you're going to come into the game and you're going to be like, oh, I finally got out there and there was tanks and there was nothing I could do about it because, and it's a paywall and I don't know what to do. It's a paywall because I can't get a anti-tank weapon without paying for it. That's not true. You can. It's so easy. All you got to do is blow up a few guys with the grenades that you're given at the beginning. Honestly, you'll only have to kill maybe 1-2 guys, even just damage a couple with your grenades, and it will give you the explosives level 1, which will open up the bazooka, or on the German side, the Panzerschreck. So, and you spend a little bit of the in-game currency that you've earned from just playing the game to buy the bazooka, and bang, you've got an anti-tank weapon. Super, super, super easy. That is not a paywall. So all you got to do is use your grenade, kill a few guys, you get your explosives. So, and that's the other thing. So with a lot of these, you get experience and explosives. Explosives would be grenades, landmines, hand grenades. There's all sorts of different types of them, right? So and every time you use landmines, these are awesome. Anti-personnel and anti-tank mines. So every time you use one of those, you get more experience in your explosives, and of course opens up more badges and more equipment. Pretty simple, eh? Now the bazooka and the Panzerschreck, contrarily, as you use those, you get your tank destruction skill improved. But it's the explosive that opens up the bazooka. Then as you use the bazooka, it improves your tank destruction, which gives you different types of anti-tank mines and different types of anti-tank weapons as well. Pretty neat, eh? All right. So, and then of course, as I'm using my starting rifle, which is a semi-automatic rifle, for example, we'll just find that here, semi-automatic rifle. That eventually will lead to I can do upgrades on my current rifle. So the rifle that I have, I can actually make upgrades to make it better. So if I really like this gun, I can actually improve it. And of course, I can do that with, you guessed it, in-game currency. I can do it with gold. Everything I'm talking about here, I can do it with the store-bought currency that you use real money to buy, but that is totally not necessary. You can use the in-game currency, and you actually get a fair amount of it every time you do a fight, and you get more as you get better. And I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be straight up honest with you. I suck at games like this. Totally suck. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. Now, I did, just to be completely honest, I did spend a little bit of money at one point in time early on in the game to buy a sniper rifle, and then discovered I didn't like the sniper rifle anyway. And I'm playing. I got a guy earned. I built a guy up to do to drive a tank and paid for it all with in-game currency. I've almost got a guy up to do fighter pilot, all with in-game currency. It is completely possible, and it doesn't take that long. And I've played, I don't know, maybe 20 hours total. Like, it doesn't take that long. Now, okay, so here we go. So this is your semi-automatic rifle line. So it starts out on the first. You get a little bit of experience. You'll be able to improve the rifle ammunition. So let's just take a quick look at that. So you can go here and you can go modify weapon and look at all these neat little areas you can modify. So now, of course, with the advantage to the, I can't even use the store-bought currency to purchase better ammunition. So I have to unlock that first. Now, there's some other things you can do so if you really want to do the pay thing, if you really want to pay, and like me, sometimes I don't have enough time to spend in these games, and you do want to pay. So you can actually purchase what's called a veteran membership. I'm not even sure how to get to it here, which will just increase the amount of experience you get when you do things, and that's pretty common with these free-to-play things. I'm not sure how to get to it. Oh boy. Okay. Maybe, it's here, store. So here we go. So the veterans. So this is a veteran membership. I did buy this as well. I bought it for 30 days because I figured 30 days is a good time a long enough time for me to try something out and see. And I think that's like $10 worth. So you just get a little bit more money every time you do the battles, and your ribbons go up a little bit faster, and you get an extra combat badge slot. So what that gives you is the combat badge are these here. So they're kind of like your traits as you earn things in game, so you can actually activate them. I don't actually have any of those right now, so I can't activate one. All right, and we're going to play here. So I'm going to show you actually the training that you start out with in this game to get your first rank and get your first combat badge. So I say, without further ado, let's just jump in, and then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about the game, and I'll show you the generals side of the game. To launch the training, it's up at the top right corner under training. And there it is. So First Blood is the training scenario available to both the American side and the German side. It's identical, except in the American side you're fighting the Germans, and in the German side you're fighting the Americans, and in the American side you're using American weapons, and in the German side you're using German weapons. Of course, it all makes sense. And you really want to do this for every character that you create, because it will give you your first rank as infantryman. It will also give you 2,000 credits to spend, just in-game credits, which is very, very helpful. You need that. and it will also give you your first combat badge. And like I said, these are like traits. So in other words, it will give you your first blood combat badge, which is plus 15% stamina. So you don't want to miss out on that. You just do that right away. It takes, honestly, less than 5 minutes. So we're just going to launch that, and away we go. All right, guys, here we go. This is it. So you start out, you're kind of invisible there for like 3 or 4 seconds, and it's the same thing when you're actually on a real map. You have kind of that grace period before, you know, stuff starts happening. So this all looks familiar, right? Yeah. Oh, look, I've got a gun. That's new. No, it's, you know, it's similar to lots of things we've all seen before, but it is still really well constructed. The thing I will say is that the firearms feel, I don't want to say uber realistic, but they feel, kind of have that clunky, hardcore realism feeling to them. Like, you can almost feel the recoil on it. It's not as smooth and lovely as some of these new MMO shooters, you know, right? It does feel a little bit clunky. So you also have, of course, whatever weapons that you are able to bring with you. When you begin a map, you decide what weapons those are going to be, and it all depends on how many points your current class can carry. The infantryman can carry the most, of course. So you're able, with an infantryman, I'm able to carry, you know, sometimes I can carry my anti-tank weapons, some hand grenades, and a gun, you know, which is pretty amazing. Now, this is just a training scenario, so it starts you out with a knife and a handgun, right? Neither of these you actually own in the game yet. You actually have to earn those 2 weapons, so that's kind of ironic. So the first thing you do when you come into the training scenario is take a quick look around, and then go grab, it actually tells you where to go. So it's like, oh, go grab the machine gun. So the M1919 machine gun. So this is the same firearm that they used in World War II, the American side. It's the machine guns have unique properties. So number one, you cannot walk or run and use a machine gun. So I'm holding down the trigger right now. I can't do it. I can't do it. You cannot reload the machine gun when you're running. You can reload the machine gun when you're walking. I guess I gotta use it before I can reload it. But to shoot, you must stop. And you don't have to aim. You can just shoot. Now these are just computer-controlled bad guys out there, right? This is the only time you will ever face computer-controlled bad guys in this entire game. Every time else, it's going to be real people. I love that. Okay, so run up here. Oh, yeah, I got targeted. Okay, so run up here. I can crouch. And it handles terribly, like the one in real life did. That they are just big pigs, and, you know, if they're not mounted on something, they're a real pain in the butt to use. So there we go. Whoops. So, and there's the reload. Look at how long that takes, eh? Click, click, click. Ah! And you're dead, right? Now, the computer-controlled guys here that we're fighting against, they're pretty useless, so... And I'm not very good at this game, and I can barely kill these guys. So, there we go. All right. So, as you can see on the top left, we have killed the enemy soldiers with the machine gun. Now we're supposed to kill the enemy machine gunner with whatever weapon is highlighted there with the 2 little bullets. And I know what it is. It is a grenade. So let's go grab our grenade. Oh, and these, let's just show you something here. These boxes here, these are resupply boxes. Hold down the E button, and you will actually resupply all of your lost ammunition and any health. Very handy. Very important, because look, I only have 150 rounds with this machine gun, and look how fast it shoots. 30 rounds. Gone. So, as you can tell, these resupplies are extremely important. So anyway, let's grab our grenade, and what does the training want us to do? It wants us to kill this guy across the way, so pretty straightforward. Hold down the left mouse button, and of course, the longer you hold it, the longer the range you're going to have if you hold it up in an arc, so you can actually see the arc, right? And you can actually get the arc, put it at the ground, and throw it. Boom! Is that not awesome? Oh, I love it. One for you. Boom! One for you. And like I said, if you want to get your anti-tank weapons right away, because a grenade does not kill a tank, all you gotta do is kill a few guys exactly like that, real guys, like real people in the real game, the training won't cut it, and boom, you're going to have the ability to buy an anti-tank weapon. So it's that easy. So we'll go over here. Like I said, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So it wants us to destroy an enemy tank. Well, how are we going to kill an enemy tank? We don't have anti-tank weapons. Oh, look, there's a bazooka lying right there. Now, in the game, there are sometimes there's weapons just lying around like that, and you can still loot weapons from the enemy. But for the most part, you have to rely on whatever weapons you bring with you. So with the bazooka, hold down the right mouse button, you can aim. Boom. And on the bottom right, it tells you how many rounds you have. So I have 3 left. I just loaded it. And boom! Penetrated the armor. Oh, wow. It's going to take 3 full shots. I think the Panzerschreck is slightly better than this particular gun. Oh, there it goes. It's gone. All right, so we killed the tank. Now we have to kill the enemy squad leader with the sniper rifle. I love the sniper rifle. But, you know, you're so far away from the action, and really you're so vulnerable because when you're in sniper mode, you kind of forget everything else around you. Like, because a lot of the time you're prone, so if you hit the Z button, you can go prone, and this is how you sit as a sniper all the time. And you try and snipe guys, and the problem is people can sneak up on you so easily, and you get killed actually just because you're so unaware of what's going on around you. So, but it is very fun. Of course, you get bonus points for headshots with any weapon in this game. And unless you pay money, you're not going to see the sniper rifle for a while. There are some guns that are pretty good for sniping. Some are better than others, but the anything that's scoped is pretty awesome. I gotta tell you, it's pretty amazing. But usually, real people don't come at you like that. They don't walk up to the line. Like, people are moving pretty fast, or they're in cover and they're shooting back at you. Nobody's shooting at me here, so you know, really, how hard is that, eh? Okay, whoops, shot him in the groin. Okay, so they want us to kill the commander, which is right there. Done. All right, so now we are gonna go destroy an enemy plane. The only thing you don't get to try on this little training round is, well, you don't get to actually fly in a tank, and you don't get to fly in an airplane. But you do get to do some of the infantry stuff. So when you scroll out with your scroll button on your mouse, if you scroll back, you can do this to kind of take a look around. If you scroll in one, then you actually get your targeting mode. And yeah, so we get to do that plane with an anti-aircraft gun. It's not fun. So like I said, normally these will be people flying the planes, and I gotta tell you, planes get forgotten in the games. When you're playing, people forget that there's forget about the players in the planes, and I tell you, they can really wreak havoc on the battlefield. Oh, smoking! You can actually use handguns and rifles to shoot planes down. Definitely not as effective as the artillery gun or the anti-aircraft gun. Oh, he's done. There he goes. Hee hee! Awesome! And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the training. Alright, so we're back, and we have earned the First Blood badge. So hard fighting has earned you a combat badge. So everybody can get this. It's super easy. When I first started, I didn't do the training because it wasn't evident. There was nothing saying, oh, do the training. Well, I learned later on that I could get this basically free badge because it's so fast. It's so easy. And you also get, I'll show you here in a second, some other stuff. You get access to the M3 grease gun. You get that for becoming the first rank infantryman. And if you want it a different color, if you want anything a different color, of course, you're going to have to spend real world money for that. It does look cool, but really, honestly, is anybody going to care that you've got a camo machine gun? I guess it'd be pretty cool to have a real camo one. That would be neat. Oh, that would be cool. But it doesn't matter. You don't need to do it, right? So now you can purchase this right now if you want. The M3 is fantastic. It is an awesome weapon, by the way. And I played the Germans a lot. But I like this way better than the German version of the first submachine gun. Anyway, so you can choose not to buy it. You can buy it with real money, or you can buy it with your in-game currency, and easy peasy, right? Done. Easy. Like, we've got more than enough. By the way, the in-game currency and your war funds, all of this is, and your gold, all of this is grouped together, so you can spend that on both American or German side. It doesn't matter. So as I earn points on the American side, I can spend it on the German side, for example. Or if you choose not to buy this, that's fine. Just continue. And I got my private first class. Woohoo! And I also earned 2,000 in-game currency, and I got my first rank. So perfect. First blood is done, and now you've got your first badge. So he permanently has, well, for as long as this badge is active, he's got 15% stamina extra, which will help you when you're running across the field and trying not to get killed by snipers. So there we go. There you have it. There is the first rank of the infantry. So all you got to do is get 2 more ranks, and you can become a tankman. And you can do that all with in-game currency. And now as an infantryman, oh, and the other part of this is you're not going to be able to join the real full advanced maps until you hit rank 3. When you first start this game, you're going to be in these little, I don't even know, maybe we can find one here. Anyway, they're training missions, and they're really balanced, and there's 4 or 3 or 4 victory locations that either side has to win in order to win the battle. And you can do that, you do that right up to rank 3. Once you hit rank 3, I think it's rank 3, then you can start participating in the larger, more advanced battles, and that's where also generals spend a great deal of their time. So this map takes a little bit of time to load. It's a little annoying. I'm sure they're going to improve on that. Like I said, this is early access. So here we go. So the goal of the game, the grand game, is for either side to take control of all the enemy capitals. Blue is the allies, or blue is you. Blue is always you, and red's always the enemy. So if you're a German, blue would be over here and red would be over here. But we are the allies, so we are blue. And as you can see, if we zoom in, there are capitals. So Bordeaux is a capital. Where's another one? Then we have Paris. That's another capital. Then we have, you have to look around. Anyway, I think there's 15 capitals. In order to win the game, I think you have to have 12 of them. Maybe more. I'm not sure. And yeah, I think it's 12. Maybe you actually have to have all of them, all 15. I'm not sure. But in any case, as a general, you can spend your war funds to buy assault teams. Now, I haven't made it that far, guys, so I can't really show you this, but I will as soon as I am able to within the game. But you can actually, so for example, if I am, say I've grown to the, oh, and you don't actually have to be a general. You can be a company officer, a field officer, or a general in order to move units on the map, and you can actually buy assault teams. Now, I don't know a whole deal about this, and if I said something that's incorrect, please let me know in the comments below, because I'd love the information. But once I reach rank 12 in either the German side or the American side, I have the ability to get 1 command point. Rank 12 gives me 1 command point, which allows me to buy one unit, I think. And with that unit, and that unit consists of real people. Real people in that unit. So if I buy a recon unit, it will actually contain the ability to launch real world snipers or real people into one of the scenarios. So each one of these areas that are flashing are actually battles that are going on either right now or about to go on. So we can go in. Oh, it's not going to let me click on it. Oh, really? I can't click on it? Oh, maybe it just takes a second to load. So if you look here, so each one of these units were moved by one of the generals or one of the high-ranking officers with their command points. So, and then it creates the battle scenario. So a bunch of Germans moved in here, and there was some Americans here. A bunch of German high-ranking guys moved these guys in, and now it creates this battle that people can actually jump in on. So if there was a tank unit that was moved in here and you own a tank, you can fight on this battlefield. If there's a recon unit here, you can fight on this battlefield. Now, it depends on how many were moved in, and not all battles are fair, right? This doesn't look like a fair battle. You've got Germans coming in on 4 fronts, and there's Americans trying to hold this position, right? Odds are the Americans are not going to win this battle, and they fight for the resources. So anyway, very cool. I'm really excited to eventually see the generals part of this game. I refuse to buy it I think it's going to probably take a few weeks to get there before I reach rank 12. I think my highest ranking character right now is rank 5. Right, and rank 12 is the first rank, and it does take a while. It's gonna take a few weeks, if not a month or so, to get to that point. But and I can see why people would want to pay to do that, but it's not necessary. There is no paywalls in this game, and really, just because you bought the ability to move units on the map doesn't mean that you're any better than anybody else. It doesn't mean like you're any better equipped to do anything. It just means you're able to move units on the map. So it's, I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of people say that there's paywalls in this, but there's no paywalls. I don't see it. And how quickly I move up this ranking system all depends on how well you do. Of course, when you win a battle, you get more experience points, and when you lose a battle, you don't get as much. When you use your weapon and kill people a lot with this, for example, this particular weapon here, I will get experience points in here, in your ribbons, and of course get better at it and open up the ability to buy new weapons and new badges. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any comments about what I've said here, if I've said something incorrectly, please let me know. If you want to see more of this, if you actually want to see me in battle, I would love to show that to you guys and maybe even do a series on it. Entirely up to you. I don't want to bore you with something that maybe not everybody's not interested in, but if you'd like to see it, please let me know. Anyway, thanks guys.